You did it. Out of thousands of hyper-competitive Ivy League tryhards, you landed the holy grail of finance internships. You are a hedge fund summer analyst. While your peers prepare to be formatting monkeys in investment banking, getting yelled at over font sizes at 3 a.m., you bypass the sell side entirely. You are on the buy side now. Welcome to a top-tier multi-manager hedge fund in New York City. The stakes are incomprehensible. The starting salary is absurd, and the pressure is a physical weight on your chest from the moment you wake up. It is 5:45 a.m. Your alarm shatters the silence of your overpriced Murray Hill sublet. You do not hit snooze. In this industry, hitting snooze means missing an overnight downgrade, which means walking into the morning meeting looking like a total amateur. You squint at the blinding screen, immediately opening Bloomberg. How are S&P futures looking? Did any companies in your coverage drop an unexpected 8K at midnight? You scroll through your inbox. 7 emails from your senior analyst sent between 2 and 4 a.m. You read them all before your feet even touch the floor. You throw on your uniform, a crisp dress shirt, navy slacks, and the obligatory fleece vest. It is a 90-degree swamp outside, but the trading floor is kept frigid to keep the servers from overheating. You grab a cold brew from the corner bodega and swipe your badge at the towering glass turnstiles of your midtown office building. It is 6:45 a.m. when you step onto the floor. The environment is jarringly quiet, but there is a distinct, vibrating hum in the air from hundreds of cooling fans and mechanical keyboards. No one says good morning. Pleasantries are a waste of breath when the pre-market is moving. You sit at your desk and wake up your 6 monitors. The glowing screens form a digital mosaic of complex charts, blinking tickers, dense financial models, and the infamous Bloomberg terminal. Your senior analyst drops a printed slide deck on your desk. A niche enterprise software company is reporting earnings after the bell. He needs you to completely rebuild their revenue model from scratch, incorporating the new channel checks you gathered yesterday. He needs it by noon. No pressure. You dive in. Unlike investment banking, where your job is to make PowerPoint slides look perfectly aligned for clients who barely read them, the hedge fund world is ruthlessly meritocratic. Your portfolio manager does not care about the font you use. He only cares if you are right. If you find hidden data in a 10Q filing proving the market is mispricing the stock, you are a hero. If you build a flawless model, but the thesis is wrong, you lose millions, and you are entirely useless. By 8 o'clock, the floor is buzzing. The morning meeting is starting. You gather in a glass-walled conference room to discuss the day's strategy. Your portfolio manager walks in. He manages $2 billion in a strict market-neutral pod. He sits at the head of the table, sipping black coffee, firing questions. Analysts rattle off their theses, price targets, and risk exposures. Suddenly, his dead-eyed gaze turns to you. He asks about a specific supplier for a semiconductors company you researched last week. Your heart stops. The entire room of stone-cold killers looks at you. In a fraction of a second, you must decide whether to bluff or admit you do not know. You remember the golden rule of the buy side. Never guess. If you lie and he puts money behind it, your career is over. You clear your throat, state the data points you know, and promise the exact supplier volume numbers in 10 minutes. He gives a barely perceptible nod. You survived. For now. At 9:30 a.m., the opening bell rings. The floor's energy shifts into controlled chaos. Your 6 monitors become a waterfall of red and green flashes. Algorithms execute thousands of trades a second. Your job isn't to trade, though. Your job is to think. You spend the next 3 hours buried deep in a financial model, projecting the income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow statement for the enterprise software company. You model their customer acquisition cost and churn rate, tweaking the weighted average cost of capital in your discounted cash flow analysis to see how sensitive the valuation is to interest rate changes. Noon rolls around. Lunch is a luxury you do not have time for. You order a sweet green salad on your phone, eat it mindlessly at your desk, and dial into an expert network call. This is where hedge funds get their edge. You are on the phone with a former vice president of sales from a competitor of the company you are researching. Your fund is paying him $1,000 an hour. You ask meticulously crafted questions to gauge if the market is overestimating demand for their new cloud product. You scribble notes furiously. He drops a golden nugget of information, a slight delay in the competitor's product pipeline. This is the exact alpha you needed. The afternoon is a grueling marathon of intense synthesis. You plug the updated assumptions into your Excel model and watch the output valuation change. The market thinks the stock is worth $80 a share. Your model, fueled by this new variant perception, says it is only worth 60. It is a textbook short. You start drafting your investment memo. A 2-page document that must be the most logically bulletproof argument you have ever written. You outline the core thesis, the catalyst that will make the stock drop, the risks, the short borrow fee rate, and the implied asymmetrical return. By 3 p.m., the floor's noise reaches a fever pitch. Traders actively reposition the book to ensure they are market neutral overnight. You finally send your finished memo and the attached model to your senior analyst. For the next 45 minutes, you stare at your screen, gripped by paralyzing imposter syndrome. What if you linked a cell wrong? What if the expert lied? The paranoia is a constant, suffocating companion. At 4 p.m., the market closes. The bell rings and the frantic energy subsides into a low murmur. But your day is far from over. It is the peak of earnings season. At 4:15 p.m., the company you shorted releases their quarterly results. You practically break your mouse clicking open the press release. Your eyes dart straight to the top-line revenue and forward guidance. They missed. The company lowered their guidance, citing exactly the product delays you uncovered in your proprietary research. The stock plummets 15% in after-hours trading. Your senior analyst walks over with a rare, genuine smile. He slaps you on the shoulder, telling you the portfolio manager shorted 50,000 shares right before the close, based entirely on your preliminary notes. You just made the fund a few $100,000 in minutes. The rush of dopamine is unparalleled. It is an intoxicating, highly addictive thrill. For a brief, shining moment, you feel like the smartest person in the financial capital of the world. But the celebration is mercilessly short-lived. A new earnings report drops for a completely different company in your portfolio, and the numbers are a disaster. The portfolio manager wants a fully updated model and a post-mortem analysis of what went wrong before he walks into the office tomorrow morning. It is now 6 p.m. Investment bankers across town are preparing to stay until 2 in the morning fixing logos on a pitch book. Your hours might be slightly better, but the mental and intellectual exhaustion is absolute. You put your noise-canceling headphones on and dive straight back into the spreadsheets. You read through 30 pages of dense management discussion and analysis. You listen to the hour-long earnings call on double speed, trying to decipher the exact tone of the CEO's voice when analysts press him about margin compression. You adjust the revenue growth assumptions down, run a completely new Monte Carlo scenario analysis, and tweak the working capital assumptions. It is 9:30 p.m. when you finally hit save and send the email. The trading floor is practically deserted, save for a few other haggard summer analysts staring blankly at glowing lines of Python code in the dark. You pack your bag. You're mentally drained, your eyes burn from the intense blue light, and your back aches from stressing over nested Excel formulas. You walk out onto the muggy streets of Midtown. The city is vibrantly alive, pulsing with young people going to bars, but you just want to collapse. You grab a greasy slice of dollar pizza, chewing it mechanically as you replay the day's events in your head, wondering if the heart-stopping stress is actually worth the payout. You unlock the door to your apartment and fall onto your bed without even turning on the lights. It is 10:30 p.m. You are exhausted beyond measure, but your brain is still completely wired. You reach for your phone to set your alarm for 5:45 a.m. Before you close your heavy eyes, you open Bloomberg one last time to check how the Asian markets are opening. This is your life for 10 grueling weeks. It is an unrelenting, high-stakes pressure cooker, meticulously designed to weed out the weak and identify the few who have the raw intellect, unbreakable nerve, and sheer stamina to survive on the buy side. Every single day is an audition. Every financial model is a high-stakes test. You are constantly walking a razor-thin tightrope between brilliant success and catastrophic failure, knowing that at the end of the summer, only a tiny fraction of your intern class will be handed the coveted return offer. If you fail, you will be sent back to your university with a deep, lingering sense of professional inadequacy. You will have to swallow your pride and recruit for consulting or corporate finance, forever knowing you could not cut it in the absolute top tier of the financial food chain. But if you succeed, if you mathematically prove that you have the intuition to spot the hidden alpha, the unmatched diligence to build the flawless model, and the unwavering conviction to stand by your thesis when the entire market moves against you, then you are handed the golden ticket, a guaranteed spot at the fund after graduation. A starting salary and bonus structure that completely dwarfs what most people make at the absolute peak of their careers. The keys to the kingdom of high finance. You close your eyes, the green and red tickers still vividly flashing behind your eyelids in the dark. You take a slow, deep breath. You have to wake up and do it all over again tomorrow. And secretly, deep down, despite the crippling anxiety, the bone-deep exhaustion, and the absolute insanity of it all, you know you would not trade it for anything else in the world.